Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to the Typhoon build. We definitely got sidetracked from working on the Typhoon because we grabbed some other projects. We've kind of been limping this thing along the build process just to get the feel for this bike. But today we're gonna focus on getting the full potential out of this current setup. As you might have noticed, the background has changed a little bit. We ended up moving everything from the end of the garage towards this way, so all the bikes are stored here now, where actually this used to be where the Bug project was kind of sitting and blocking up room. But now the Bug project has its own corner. This thing is just full of bikes right now, but current garage setup's looking a little bit better. We got a lot more space and storage over here now by the workbench, and we got this whole area cleaned up a lot. Random little update on the garage, but most importantly, back to the Typhoon, because today we have some of the final pieces. If you know, from the day we got this scooter, it had the naked bar stem on it, but I wanted to go with stock handlebars, and I'm excited because today we made that happen. So here is the headset that actually came with the bike. The problem was that both the tabs that hold this headset on were snapped off of here on both sides, and this headset was cracked. So easy enough, I went ahead and ordered a new top headset piece. We have our back panel and our speedometer, and most importantly, we found a set of used Typhoon bars. So this was the hardest part to find, but we got those in now. So we should be able to do a full bar setup now and get rid of this sketchy junk naked bar setup, because these things are weak. We're just gonna have to figure out a way that we're now gonna be able to fit this front master cylinder on here, because originally when we got this, it had that crazy lever setup that went from a cable driven to a master cylinder that was down here. Now that we have that moved up here, we're gonna have to figure out if that fits under the headset along with our new quick throttle. So that's something to consider. And what we're also gonna be doing today is a variator upgrade. So we have a Malossi MHR, see if we can't tune this variator setup. Well, currently the Typhoon is already stripped down, lucky enough. Last time we finished the video, it was fully built, but I need to steal a temp gauge off this thing for a project I was working on. So I ended up just stripping it all the way down to steal a temp gauge, but it worked in our favor because now we're gonna be taking the bars off anyways. So get that, and we're also gonna be plugging back in all our electronics that run to the stock speedometer and cluster that were all removed and kind of just left hanging here when he went naked bars. I also want to give a big shout out to Scooter Attack. If you're overseas and you order scooter parts, check out Scooter Attack. We don't get many of the Piaggio style scooters in America, so most of the time you're going to be ordering parts from overseas, and Scooter Attack has been helping with getting some of those parts that we need from overseas for these scooters. So got to give a big shout out to Scooter Attack. Thank you guys for helping, and if you're overseas and you need parts, check them out. Alright boys, we're currently trying to find a solution on how we're going to fit the quick throttle and now a front master cylinder under the stock handlebar cover. So this is what I'm pretty much working with right now. I had to cut this inner flat edge off of the back plastic so the throttle can slide all the way in. I could put it up and over here, but it's still too tight of a fit. So it'd just be easier if I trim that out. And then for the front master, this headset cover on the front, nowhere at all clears this master. So luckily I have two of these. At least get 2 tries at cutting this right, but I'm sure we're gonna have a big cut in here to make it look right. If you remember, we had to make a big one for when we went rear disc brake on the Malagudi, and that looks terrible. We're still gonna come in here and finish that. I wanna get a different rear master for that, but I'm thinking we're gonna have to do something similar for this one. It's not gonna look the prettiest, but we'll get 2 attempts at it, boys. All right, I have been going in on the Dremel on this temporary headset that we have. This is not the brand new one we got, this is the one that was already cracked. I went in and cut a huge hole on purpose, so now I can kind of exactly see where I need to cut. I'm going to go with a tape line and then kind of measure exactly where that tape line is, mark up the new headset and cut. But basically, I had to cut a ton out of here, like so it actually clears behind this blinker. A bunch of trimming we had to do, but I think we're on the right track now. So I'm going to start measuring and lining up the new one, and then hopefully we'll get the new one fitted on here. But one step closer now to having the stock bars again, boy. All right, we have fitted our headset onto the Typhoon, and we did it the best we can. We had to clearance the headset. Now, I went a little too wide here. At the end of it, it doesn't look too bad. I had to clearance all the way out to here because this sticks out too, and nothing was clearing. Once we paint it, we'll get rid of this outline and we'll put a little rubber sealant around here, and it'll look pretty good. Another struggle we had was now that we had a quick throttle, so we had to trim a ton of the plastic that runs here, a ton of the plastic that runs here, but we got a quick throttle to fit into there. Sadly, this top one was just not going to fit. It was either cut the plastic here or trim the bracket that holds this down. So we had to go trimming the bracket that holds it down. Now I think I'm going to be able to run a small zip tie, drill a hole here and run a zip tie, kind of hide it the best I can, but that's pretty much all we're left with. Everything else lined up perfect. Now, if you remember when we first got this scooter, the scooter was in a crash, and that's why it didn't have the OEM bars on it, because the OEM bars bent. It turned out that not just the OEM bars bent, but the actual steering stem of the bike bent. These bars are a little crooked. As you can see, it's kind of like this. There's nothing we could do about that other than get a whole entire new front fork assembly, because the fork shocks are actually welded to the stem on here, so it's all one piece all the way up. We might be on the look for a set of forks here soon, so we can actually get that straight. Well, we are not done with the parts today, boys. As I mentioned, we're doing a CVT setup today, so we have the Malossi MHR Team 2 variator kit right here, and we're gonna be tossing this bad boy in. I heard a lot of things about this MHR front variator, so we're gonna be changing that out, and let's get right to it, boys. We're also missing the front ramp plate that had the fan on our variator, which I will show you right when we crack this case open. So that's why we went with the full kit, but I'm excited to throw this thing on and see what it's all about. We have the Typhoon leaned against the workbench, because when we lean it the other way on the kickstand, the CVT is kind of sitting at a crazy angle, so it's a lot easier to work on it like this. All right, it looks like it's a lot smaller of a ramp plate. That's crazy. But as you see, we have a cooling fan now on our ramp plate. This one was missing one since we got it. Big old variator. This is how I know the Piaggio world's a little new to me. This is interesting. A seal on the variator, and the boss itself has an engraved area for the grease to actually lubricate the boss sliding in and out of the variator. This thing better shift nice, boys. But as you can tell, it looks like we're gonna lose our electric start. Not sure if that's normal on the Piaggio. I really didn't pay attention to that, but this front variator doesn't have the teeth that grabs onto the electric start gear. We already have the same contra in the back right now. We just put this purple Malossi contra in last time, so I don't think we're gonna change that right now. We're just gonna try a straight variator change. So here's the difference between the standard Malossi one we were running before, and here's the MHR one that we just got. So as you can tell, big difference here. The ramp angle itself though, like this MHR one might just have a little bit more of an increase of angle. I honestly did not remember us having a Malossi one. For some reason I thought we had a top performance or something. Now, obviously the Malossi one we're going with is a lot better, that's for sure. Now this kit comes with multiple rollers. It looks like it comes with 3 8s and 4 3s. I think I'm gonna go with all 4 3s for right now. And we're gonna mess with tuning this bike today. I wanna know what this is. Let's see. It doesn't say what this part is. Interesting. Alright, now that this thing is all put back together and nice and pretty, let's go test this thing out with the new setup. Let's see what it's all about now, boys. Well, I can tell you right off the bat right now, our rollers are way, way too light. Oh yeah, these rollers are nothing to them. Alright. These are with the 4.3 grams. Well, it's got really good torque right away, but these rollers are so light. It's got like no guts to it after that. Alright, yeah, we need more weights. I decided before changing the roller weights that I'm going to change out the contra to a stage 6 medium from the purple Malossi. So try that first, see if we could change where the bike kind of shifts, and then see how we're feeling on the rollers. Oh yeah, we gotta change something, boys. This thing wants heavier rollers, it's that simple. There's no other way around it. It wants heavier rollers. It's got nothing to it. Oh, that feels way better. That feels way better. I can't post the wheelies no more. YouTube's been on us about the wheelies again, boys, so no wheelies today, but she still feels a little slow, man, for this build. But this is a regular Polini 70 kit. This isn't nothing, you know, I don't even think this was a Corsa. Did we check that, boys? I'm gonna have to go back and look at the old videos. This is the kit that came on this scooter when we got it. I can't remember if it was a Corsa or Contessa, but as you can see, we don't have a speedometer hooked up and nothing on our clusters working. The fuel gauge wires might be somewhere in the back different because the guy had a stage 6 gauge in before, so I didn't really check all that wiring yet. So he might have altered the wires that were running from the back to this cluster up here, for all I know. Oh, it's running really, really rich. We're not even at 200 degrees Fahrenheit right now. I did not notice that. This thing is so slow. Dude, we're barely hitting 50. I think it needs less fuel. Sounds good though. Great thing about these PWK style carbs is sometimes the foot bowls will have a big drain plug right here that you can actually just pull out and access the main jet. Right there, boys. You see that poking out? So we're going with the jet swap because I think this thing's getting way too much fuel and we're losing power because it's just kind of flooding out. So it looks like we're sitting at a 116 and that is pretty damn big. So we're gonna go down to like probably a 106 and see how she likes it. Oh no, boys, it's starting to rain on us. I've been trying to get this thing tuned for a couple days now, and the last 2 days it's been rainy and windy, man. Let's see if we can pull the draggy out. We're going against the wind this time too. Oh man. It definitely feels like it's got some speed now though. It's definitely got a little bit more power to it. Alright boys, we got a little bit more mile per hour out of the Typhoon. Well, what is a typical mile per hour on a 70 kit on a Typhoon? I feel like this scooter's a little heavier, so. But the fuel change definitely helped us. As you can see, we're going over 50 now. So definitely getting a little warmer too. We got about 5 miles per hour down jetting just now because it was getting too much fuel, but that's all we're gonna be able to get today because it is raining now, boys. All right, boys, we're gonna call that it for the Typhoon today. We're gonna get some more tuning on this thing. We did get some more power out of this. I wish I did a before video now when we did the variator swap, but if you remember in the last video, this thing was kind of a dog off the line. It needed some tuning, it needed some work. We did the carb, and now this thing feels good. I wish I could post the wheelie clips, but like I said, YouTube is a crybaby when it comes to that lately. This thing has good amount of power now in the bottom end, but we're only seeing about 55 miles per hour. Now that is basically what you'd see on a Polini Corsa pre-bug. Stock gears is usually about 55 miles per hour. This one's hitting about 55. Now that seems about right for a 70 kit with stock gears, in my opinion. But I would assume the Hypermotor has a little bit more power and more potential. But this is a regular sport kit, like I said, regular sport 70 kit. So it's nothing crazy, it's not a high-strung kit. And on a side note, I'm definitely still leaning towards putting the RC1 in this bike. So I don't really want to go in here and change the motor. Let me know in the comments down below on what your Typhoon hits on a 70 kit, because I'm pretty curious. This is a little bit of a heavier bike than the bikes we normally put 70 kits on. So it kind of makes sense to me, but I was hoping to see a little bit in the 60s. So maybe we got more tuning to do, but we're kind of cut short today with the rain. So that's going to do it for this one, boys. I will see you guys in the next video.